glad to be with you on this Monday. Dollar Bill and Krissy here with you, and we're so glad. Hope you had a good weekend, and hope you're having a good start of a Monday. We could have some storms. The weather was pretty nice. You know, they were talking about how we could have had some really bad weather, like Friday into Saturday. We got a little rain. It was all it was for us. I mean, I don't know about other parts of the state.
It rained at our house Friday night.
It did, like after midnight or...
Yeah, because I woke up Saturday and my plants were watered.
Yeah, that's what I needed more of that. My yard is so dry. But anyway, we got a little rain. It didn't help the... It didn't hurt, but it didn't really do much to help our drought. So hopefully we'll get... They're talking about some severe weather, though, coming in. Speaking of that, Krissy, you know, I guess 15 years ago, how old were you? Not much.
Like 8 or 9.
Do you remember?
No, 8.
8. Do you remember 15 years ago today what happened in 2011?
No.
That huge outbreak of tornadoes that just 60-something tornadoes in one day in the state of Alabama.
That's crazy.
Of course, I remember going home from work and watching the big tornado come up through Tuscaloosa, and they had it on video heading straight into Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know, and
terrifying.
Well, it killed over 250 Alabamians died that day. Over 250 Alabamians. And many more were hurt. And many more lost their homes and their businesses and stuff. I remember Tuscaloosa was flattened. And it was amazingly horrible that day. And it, like I said, I think that was a record. 67 or 69 tornadoes in one day. And all that damage and all those deaths, it was so impactful if you were old enough to really encompass it. And that was 15 years ago today.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember it so well because then we, at the radio station, had, you know, that night we all talked on the phones and stuff, made sure everybody was safe. And then the next day we gathered up the van and all our equipment and stuff, and we went out. And I remember there was so many people working devastated areas. Mm-hmm. What we did is we'd go by like McDonald's or somewhere and order 30 hamburgers, 50 hamburgers, and some drinks. We'd take things of water because these people were out working straight for 12, 15, 20 hours trying to get people out and assess damage and all that. So we were buying food really for the workers that first couple of days.
Yeah. And
it was just incredible. And then the next year, the group Alabama got a bunch of huge artists together, and they had Bama Rising, I think is what they called it. And me and Madison got to MC that thing in Birmingham. And, I mean, it was big name stars. And all the money raised for that concert went to help Alabama families and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it was neat. It was one of the biggest events I've ever gotten to MC. It was amazing. So it was a terrible time. So that's 50, and you know, some lives were changed forever. Anybody, of course, that had a loss of life, you never recover fully from that. And then there were people that were injured badly, still dealing with that to this day, 15 years later. And then, you know, people were wiped out. Many people that were wiped out didn't even have insurance or anything, maybe. And so they just lost everything. And cars, houses, everything in that. You know, what people don't remember, these tornadoes, you know, when they flatten a house, it's just like having it burned down. You don't just lose the house. You lose everything in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People finding clothes and pictures counties away. I remember there was a story started bubbling up over the next few months after that tornado in April. It might be June or July, and someone will have found a photograph out in their backyard from 100 miles away. You know, they maybe could figure out who it was or put it online, and people would claim it, and that thing traveled 100 miles in the air. So that was 15 years ago today. So just if you can, take a second and, you know, make a little prayer or whatever. Take a moment to think about people whose lives are still changed. Children, adults were killed. They'll never be back, you know, that kind of stuff. And today is also Confederate Memorial Day. Today is the day that we honor the Confederate dead. Now, it's so controversial with some of these things nowadays. when I was a kid, it was just taken for granted. You had, they celebrated Robert E. Lee's birthday and Confederate Day because we were in the South. The Confederate States of America, a lot of people are still very proud of their Southern heritage. Now, I knew a lot of people that were really proud of Southern heritage, but they didn't agree with slavery. They thought slavery was horrible. They were glad that slavery was abolished and all that, but they still had pride in where they came from. So it's a very emotional and very difficult thing nowadays because they're trying to wipe out all the memorials for Confederacy and anything that really brings it up, because many people believe that if you honor the Confederates, which is the Confederate States of America, which fought the United States as a separate nation, if you honor them, you are promoting white supremacy and slavery. I don't personally believe that's true at all. Now, there are people that are racist and do believe in that, and I don't know what you can do about that. But history is history. History is facts. And the United States, whether you want to call it the war between the states or the Civil War, typically the Yankees and Northerners wanted to say it was the Civil War because they said we were never not a nation. We were just in rebellion against the nation. And the Southerners said, no, we seceded from the Union. We were a completely separate nation. We were the Confederate States of America. And it was two nations fighting each other. So that's, again, that philosophy, states' rights versus whatever. Anyway, today is Confederate Memorial Day. So whether you agree with it or not, today is the day that many state offices, I think, are all closed. There's only, I think, 4 states left that recognize Confederate Memorial Day. I think it's South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, I think. I may be wrong on one of those. I know Alabama, Mississippi, I think Georgia, and South Carolina still acknowledge that. So there were, now here's the deal. If I'm not mistaken, I remember studying this in school, over 250,000 Southerners died in the war, in the Great Unpleasantness, as my grandmother used to call those years, 1860 to 65. And she, that's 250,000 men and boys that died, because of the conflict. Not many of them owned slaves or many of them were just Southern boys that got either joined because of pride of the South or were conscripted in or forced, in a sense, to join. So I don't know, it's 250 souls lost in the South alone. That's pretty significant. So I don't think it's personally, I don't believe you're always promoting slavery at all, because I think anyone in their right mind would abhor slavery. I mean, that's the most hard to think you can own another human being is crazy. So and white supremacy, I don't know, that's crazy. So anyway, I think that it's a fact right now until they either change it or abolish it or whatever. So today is Confederate Memorial Day in the state of Alabama. It is 7:15, 15 minutes after 7 o'clock. We thank you for being with us on this Monday morning. We got it's nice outside this morning. About 61 degrees. Feels good. I came in the door this morning and the radio station door was wide open with a chair. And because that, I thought, wonder if the air conditioner's out. No, it's Baden trying to save some money on air conditioning.
Well, it's
I
hotter
knew that immediately.
in here than it was outside.
It was hotter in here than it was outside. But hey, the door is open and we're feeling good this morning. We're glad you're with us. Stay with us, if you will. We're glad you're watching and listening to Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205 280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
It is 7:19. That's about 21 minutes. 41 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 7:19 on this Monday morning, 61 degrees outside. Beautiful day going. We could have some severe weather coming in our way later, so we'll get you updated on that. We're glad you're with us.
Yes.
Dollar Bill and Krissy here with you. Oh, I got to stop right now and thank Baden and Krissy for the most amazing birthday Friday. I came in, I had an arch of balloons, I had happy birthday balloons. It was just amazing. And I know y'all both put a lot of effort, and I know, Krissy, you worked tirelessly putting all those balloons on that arch. Thank you so much. I got home and Mary went, "Hey, it's your birthday, isn't it?" I went, yeah, you know. So thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah, she went, I said, "Yeah, it is." She goes, "Oh, I thought so." Oh, happy birthday. Anyway, when are you going to mow the grass? Anyway, it was wonderful. Thank you so much. They had me all kind of goodies, and it was just, and those peeps.
Oh, I have more. I think they're in my car somewhere.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, have you ever put a peep in the microwave?
I might have to try Peeps and s'mores.
Peeps do really good in the microwave. They get huge.
You would know.
Yeah, I did. I do know. I've done it many. Of course, I told you about. I think we've talked before about peep jousting.
Yes, yeah.
Put a little toothpick in both of them and see which one kills the other.
So you
one.
had a good birthday weekend.
Had a good birthday weekend. Everybody was so nice to me. I mean, Mary was wonderful, and she asked me last week what I wanted for my birthday, and I don't really want her anything really. I mean, I've got at my age now in my lifetime, I don't need underwear and socks, and I don't care about clothes much, and I don't, I've got anything I need, I usually just go get.
Yeah.
So I don't need any big presents, but we did need something for the house that I needed because I do all the cooking pretty much at our house. Mary doesn't like to cook, so I cook every meal we cook. And I needed some new cookware because, like a dummy, when we moved into our new house back in September, I put in a fancy Italian cooktop but we've always had a gas cooktop. I love gas over electric. But I put in a clean electric induction cooktop. And I'd never had an induction cooktop in my life. I didn't know how that worked. But I've read all these stories about how clean and cool it is, and it's quick and it's wonderful. But I never really realized you can't use almost any of your regular cookware. It's got to be highly magnetic bottom, and the bottom has to be extremely flat.
They did that on purpose.
I think so. So you'd have to go buy expensive cookware. Now, skillets work great. Anything cast iron, which is highly magnetic, works great on an induction cooktop.
They're just so heavy.
They are. So I went and I had some really nice cookware. But the only way you can check it is you got to turn it over on the bottom and make sure it's nice and it can't be, some of my cookware had gotten beat up and was kind of bubbled up and whatever, wasn't flat. That had to go. And then you had to take a magnet and touch it to the bottom, and the more magnetic it is, the better it's going to work. And I had a couple of little saucepans that just kind of were magnetic, but I used the magnet on my, I've got these magnetic glasses that stick together with magnets. So there's magnets in my glasses, so I could take and touch my glasses to it. And there was a couple that you could feel just a little pull, and it barely works on the induction. I mean, it just takes forever for anything to get really hot. Then I had one a stainless steel one that had a good clad bottom. It works great, but it's stainless steel, so things stick to it pretty easy. So that was my birthday present.
Did you
told
get them
Mary,
in yet?
No, it comes in, since she asked me so late, we ordered it like on Monday last week, and my birthday was Friday, but they said it'd be like 2 weeks coming in. But it was expensive stuff, and I'm getting like, a stock pot and 2 big sauce pots and 1 smaller sauce pan or pot with the lids, and then 2 skillets. And the skillets have titanium.
Yeah.
So there's no PFAS, there's no coating that's going to poison us or get us Alzheimer's. Although at my age now, I don't know why I'm worried about that. I could drink PFAS now probably, and
Let's not try.
I'm not. But I got it all coming, so I'm excited about my cookware, which is kind of weird for a dude. Can't wait to get my cookware in. Most guys go, I want a shotgun, I want a motorcycle, I wanted a skillet.
That's like when as you get older, like my age, you're like, oh, I want all this house stuff now. Like, you're like, oh, it's a crock pot, and you're so excited.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's funny, isn't it? Because it changes when you're a kid or young, even. That would be real young. That would be horrible. I remember my grandmother every year at Christmas gave me pajamas. Oh. And I was just, ugh. Now I'd kind of like it because they were nice pajamas. But, yeah, I remember when I was in my 20s and then got into my 30s, I wanted tools. Like I wanted a nicer lawnmower.
Yeah.
I wanted a weed eater. I wanted a blower. When they started, they didn't come in until I was in my 40s. There was no blowers early, not that you could afford. And then, you want tools. You want stuff for the house that would have bored the heck out of you when you were younger. And then
now it's so exciting.
Now I'm 70. I want a pacemaker. I want a defibrillator. I want a back brace.
We can maybe arrange one of those.
I don't want any of them.
I'll do it for you.
This is my defibrillator right here, my Monster drinks. I wonder if those are bad for you. They got all this supposedly, good stuff in it, like the stuff to perk you up and all. And caffeine is not, I know that isn't great for you. But I love these things. I'm thinking that one day they're going to find out that if you want to live the longest life possible, you need to live on a diet of hot fudge sundaes. You need to probably smoke and drink, all these high energy drinks. That's probably what will give you your longevity.
Okay.
And bourbon.
And cigars.
And smoked cigars. Well, look at George Burns. You don't know him because you're too young. But George Burns was a huge comedian and actor. He lived to be like 101, and he smoked something like, no joke, like 16 cigars a day.
Oh my gosh.
You never saw him without a cigar. Never.
I can just
Ever.
imagine the smell. I don't
Yeah.
like the smell of them.
I like the smell of them if you're out, like a pipe. I like a pipe and a cigar. But if you get it in there and you get it tight, and then people that smoke them a lot stink, I'm really weird about that. Of course, now I don't, I rarely smoke more than one cigar every couple of days or whatever. I mean, I don't smoke a lot of them at all. And it's a good thing because the cigars I smoke are pretty expensive. So, I can't be spending $16, $17 a stick
Yeah.
much. But the thing is, I'm very cognizant of the odor and stuff. So if I smoke inside a cigar lounge where the air isn't that clear, I've got a can of this stuff called Smoke Out. It's an aerosol can, and it's made to get rid of cigar or cigarette smoke. So I spray myself. You're supposed to spray it in the room. I soak myself down with the stuff. I also have some Ozium.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll go to the bathroom and wash my face real good because I know it could be around here. Now, of course, I can wash everything because I don't have any hair. I can wash myself real good. But that's one thing I hate about the fact I like cigars. I don't want to offend anybody. I never smoke one around anybody that doesn't want me to. I never smoke around people unless they're other fellow.
Yeah.
I would never smoke in the house or in my vehicle. It's always outside or in a cigar lounge, a bar, somewhere, whatever. So.
Well, I can confirm he does smell good. So.
Well, thank you. I am also kind of a cologne freak, so I do like to smell good.
Ooh, have you ever smelled Chanel Blue?
No, is that a men's? Chanel is for men?
Yes, it smells
Blue?
so good.
Wow.
You need to
I
get
wear
it.
one that you can't get very easily. It's from England. It's called Creed Adventus.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah,
maybe?
it's expensive, but it lasts forever. I was horrified when Mary bought me a bottle years ago for Christmas, and I loved it. I said, "Oh my God, nothing smells like this. Smells its own smell. Nobody smells like me, and I like that." And then I found out why nobody else smells like me. Nobody's spending that kind of money for a bottle of cologne. But the sad thing is, it's kind of like a heroin addict or something. Once I liked it so much, I didn't want to live without it, but it horrified me. So I just started using just a little bit. And I'll say a bottle can last me almost a year.
That's good.
Well, yeah, well, it should be because it's so expensive. 7:29 is our time, almost 7:30 on this Monday morning. We're glad you're with us. Dollar Bill and Krissy here on Morning Mayhem. And it's going to be about, I think, 82 is our high today. It's going to be in the 80s. So it's going to be another bright, sunny day. It's some cloudiness, and we do have a chance of severe weather a little later. We'll get you updated on that and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach. We will be right back.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 755-3550.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota BX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $1,500. Now through February 28th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Get by Clanton Tractor today or visit ClantonTractor.com.
We are back on this Monday morning. Dollar Bill and Krissy here. It is 7:33, 27 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 63 degrees outside. Going to be hot today, up in the 80s, which is great. And we do have, I got to look up the weather. I knew we were supposed to have some severe weather possibilities. I think they have a Fox Channel 6 said it's going to be a severe weather day, or what they call it, something alert day, first alert day or something. Today or tonight or tomorrow.
So I have, tomorrow is increasing clouds with storms likely later
There
in the
you
day.
go, tomorrow. Okay.
So, and then Wednesday is a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, it's going to be cooler with partly cloudy skies. Friday, it's going to be like mild and highs in the 70s.
Very good. Very good. Well, I'll be out of town Thursday through Sunday, so I'll be up in Maryland. Emmitsburg, Maryland, up near, well, not too far from Gettysburg in D.C. Going up there every year, I go work the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. You know, it's any firefighters who've given their lives in service, they have a memorial for them, and it's very important. It's a big deal. They treat firefighters are the most amazing brotherhood. I mean, there are military brotherhoods and police brotherhoods and all, you know, there's Mason, all kind of brotherhoods. And I do mean that meaning men and women, but family kind of thing, you know, a family of affair with a certain vocation or career. But the firefighters, when someone dies in the service of the fire service, those people take care of the widow or widower and the children and all that. Mm-hmm. They go rush in, and if for instance, if a man dies fighting a fire, they'll go in and pay off his mortgage with the widow, pay their house off, make sure the kids all have money for college or anything they need to go. I mean, it's amazing. And I've been doing it for 15 years or more, and it's an honor to be a part of that and to see it every year. This year is going to be a little different for me because my nephew was killed in a fire as a firefighter this last year.
Aww.
Yeah, it was really tragic. His name was Preston, and Preston was fighting a big warehouse fire that happened to be very toxic with chemicals in the fire. And he was fighting it last year, and he died fighting the fire. They got him out, but he was dead. And it was just tragic. He has like 6 children, and most of them are. I mean, he was in his late 40s, no, early 50s. He was 52, I think.
I feel like that's still kind of young, though.
When you're my age, it's incredibly young. I mean, you've still got kids in school, and so Preston his name was Preston Fant, great guy, and everybody loved him. And he was a very professional firefighter. He had that designation of master firefighter because he had taken all these courses on I mean, he even took scuba. I didn't know they teach scuba diving and stuff in case you have to do that in fighting a fire. I don't know how that works, but you know, he knew all this. He was very challenged by everything in the firefighting service. He absolutely loved what he did.
That's good.
And everybody apparently loved him. He's over in Atlanta. I knew him as a family member. I know him as a firefighter, really. I mean, I knew that's what he did. But when we went to his funeral last year, it was astounding the number of people that showed up for his funeral. His funeral was so big because I think he was one of the first firefighters ever killed in that county, DeKalb County, Georgia. But he had about 6,000 people at his funeral. They had to actually do his funeral in the same stadium that, not the Braves play, but one of the other big teams.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. And his supervisors and fellow firefighters from his house crying like babies. They loved him. And that was meaning. And his wife is wonderful. And then all those kids, but they've taken care of them. But it will be different for me this year because I will be working that induction into the Hall of Fame or the memorial, and it'll be one of my own family members, Preston.
That would be
So
nice.
it will be nice,
It's
but it's
sad,
sad.
but yeah.
But it'll be great. So I'll be up there doing that. I think the memorial. If you'll notice, some fire stations all over the country are bathing their fire stations in red. It's called Light Up the Night, and they're putting red lights against the fire station because this whole week they're doing it all the way through Sunday in commemoration of fallen firefighters.
Good.
So I'd like to see all of them do it. I think a lot of them just don't know that that's a thing, but the awareness, the more they can become aware of it. But Light Up the Night started last night, I think, and it goes all the way through Sunday night. And so you may see fire stations. I wonder why they're bathed in more red light or showing red lights. It's for the commemoration of the fallen firefighters. So it is 7:39, 21 away from 8 o'clock. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I didn't really do anything, but that's okay.
Yeah, it is good.
I got to sleep in.
Yeah, some weekends it's good to recharge the batteries. Baden, you said y'all were at events and stuff all weekend? Y'all never stop. It's a great thing. You know, that's the one thing about Piper Peach, man. Somebody's always out at something in this community, covering it, helping it, promoting it. And that's what we really like to see happen. That's the purpose of this station, is to get out and help the community where they need it, support people that need support, show up for events that are helping make lives better in Chilton County and Clanton. And of course, we don't just say Clanton; it's the biggest town in the area. But we're talking everywhere from Jemison to all the way down to Marbury and just everywhere in our area. We want to support them all. Where is it?
Marbury.
That's like what's the one in Albany, Georgia? They don't call it Albany, Georgia. It's Albany.
What is it? It was Widowy, Alabama.
Where?
What is it called? Widowy.
Wedowee? Oh, Weedowie. Yeah, I've seen Weedowie. It's a Wedowee. I've seen Sylacauga instead of Sylacauga. Of course, everybody thinks Arab, Alabama, is a mispronunciation of Arab for the Arabs, but it's not. The town was supposed to be named Arad, A-R-A-D, Alabama, because that was the name of the first postmaster. So when they applied for a post office, the name of the town was Arad, Alabama, but they miswrote it in Washington or New York, or wherever it is they sanction, I guess, Washington, and it came back, they're Arab, Alabama, but it should have been Arad, A-R-A-D. So it's not a mispronunciation of Arab, but now we do have, the famous soldier and General Lafayette. Of course, in Alabama, it's Lafayette. They can't call it Lafayette. They got to be Lafayette. So we got some neat towns in Alabama, neat names. I love Slap Out, and
I live near Slap Out.
Yeah, you do. That's right. That's cool.
So since we're
Jessica Muse is from Slap Out.
yeah, what county? This is since we're talking about counties and stuff. What county do you think has the highest rate of STDs?
Let's see. The one my ex-girlfriend lives in, I'm sure.
Okay.
Which county has the highest rate of sexually transmitted diseases? That's. I kind of want to say like Jefferson County since it's the biggest and big population. What is it?
Okay, so it says Montgomery County has the highest rate of STDs in the state
Well, that's true. There's politicians all down
with
there.
with 185 residents per 10,000 diagnosed. But Jefferson was also high up on that list as well.
Well, they've got such a big population, and it's that's weird. You know, you wonder about when you talk about STDs. I know that there's one form of, is it? I don't remember if it's syphilis or gonorrhea, but it's really resurging right now. And they were talking about how, I think it's one of the ones that's a little resistant. It's harder to cure. It's resistant to the antibacterial stuff they give you to cure it.
I think with I'm pretty sure I'm right. Could be wrong. Syphilis and like gonorrhea are treated with an antibiotic.
Yes, because they're not viral.
Yeah.
Now chlamydia may be viral. I don't know.
I'm
not up on this stuff. I'm not. Yeah, I've never had to deal with it. Thank goodness. I guess when I was younger, when I was younger, there wasn't much. I mean, it was pretty naive time, and then once I got up into my 30s, I guess this late 70s, early 80s is when AIDS came in, and nobody really. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about STDs until someone famous maybe died of it or something. It was just kind of one of those things nobody talked about.
Yeah.
So I don't know really how bad it was at the time, but I do know that once AIDS hit, and that was like a death sentence, and it's viral, it's not bacterial, so antibiotics do nothing, and they had none of the stuff they have now to treat AIDS or AIDS simplex, whatever it is. It was like a death sentence, and it made everybody suddenly so aware that you could get something that you couldn't rub off. They used to say,
Yeah.
"He'll give you something you can't rub off." And it was it's in a way it was good. I mean, it was horrible, and of course everybody thought at the time it was just a gay man's disease because that's who were mostly dying of it. And then they found out that everybody could get it. You can get it bloodborne or whatever. So
But
it really
yeah.
did open people's eyes to STDs and stuff more too. The sad thing is you would think nowadays there'd be less and less of it because we're so aware of it. We've got things you can do to hopefully not get it. You got treatments if you do get it. The problem is so many people still get it and don't know they have it or embarrassed to go to the doctor or whatever.
Which
And
is
it
crazy.
it goes crazy. Yeah.
Just think about all the people that have gotten it on accident or something,
Yeah.
but they're embarrassed. That's sad.
It is sad that
They need help. Not help, but they need
need medical
medication.
care,
Yeah.
right? And they're too ashamed to go tell somebody the problems they have because they know it's probably, it's like people with herpes and that sort of stuff. Sometimes it goes on a long time. One from not knowing what it is or dealing with it, and the other is embarrassment
Yeah.
to go tell somebody.
That's
So,
one thing, like, if I become a nurse practitioner, then you can tell me anything. I mean, I'm not going to judge you. Why would I? I'm here to help you.
Yeah, well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
The sad thing is
It's
it
not
isn't
like that.
always like that.
Yeah.
The realities doesn't always match the optimal
Yeah.
way it should be. So, but you're right. You should, your health is, it's not just your health too. That's the thing with STDs. If you're sexually active in any way, you better get it fixed because you're not just putting yourself in a terrible situation where it could impact your health or kill you. You're giving it to other people, or you could be giving it to your children, to other people, whatever. And oh man, that's like, that's almost like assault
Yeah.
It's like murder in the case
Well,
of.
I know if, like, say you have something and you don't disclose with the other person and they find out, you can go to jail.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, the more you know, in case you need to know.
That is, I'm glad to hear that. I learned something valuable today. It is 7:17. It is 17 minutes after. No. 7:47. I'm looking at the clock weird. It's 7:47. We're getting close to 8 o'clock. It's about 63 degrees outside. We do have a chance of severe weather coming in tonight or tomorrow. And today's going to be pretty nice and a high of about 85, 84, somewhere in there. It's going to be a hot day. We're glad you're with us here on this Monday morning. Dollar Bill and Krissy here at Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
Good morning. It is 7:50, 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Dollar Bill and Krissy here. Krissy's helping me. I've got a newfangled watch. It's an Apple Watch. Now, I had one when they first came out. I got an Apple Watch, brand new when they first came out. Loved it, but you had to stay within, 20 feet of your phone or it wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
Hardly at all.
That's crazy.
Because basically it was just a slave to your phone. Whatever you did on your phone, you could kind of do on your watch, but it was Bluetooth, so you had to be really close. Now they're independent. They're autonomous, and you can just take phone calls. You don't have to be anywhere near your phone. It's pretty neat.
I'll have to put mine back on, and then we can walkie-talkie.
What?
Yeah, you can walkie-talkie.
Here's my problem with this Apple Watch.
So I can just
I'm old and I'm
you.
deaf.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and the problem is I tried playing with it. I said, let's see if I can make a phone call from it. And I did. I called Mary. Well, first of all, I talked to my sister because I accidentally hit the buttons are a little tiny on the screen, and I hit the wrong one and called my sister. Then I called Mary just to try it, and I was out in the yard. She was in the house, and she could hear me. She said it was better than the phone. It was just clear as a bell. But she's coming out of this, I don't even know where the speaker is on this thing. It's waterproof. Is it down at the bottom?
I think they're over here, maybe.
Over here, maybe. Anyway, she's going, I said, Mary, can you hear me? I'm like, what? So it's a tiny speaker. If you're old like me, you can barely hear what they're saying. Plus, this is a little bit higher frequency.
Yeah.
Because it's a little speaker. And that's what you lose when you get older is the high frequency. So if she talked like this, I'm doing good. How are you? I'd understand her better, but she doesn't. So I'm learning how to do it. I do have it. I don't know if you could see it, but I've got it like for an old man because I've got huge 752 or 753, and today is the 27th. I've got it all where I can see everything really big. Monday the 27th.
Brian said smartwatches are the new life alerts.
Is that right? Well,
you can actually.
I do kind of like that because I did set it up when I've only had it like a few days. So I set it up for if I fall.
Yeah.
Or if I have a car wreck or something, it supposedly will tell somebody.
Well, don't fall and test it.
I fall all the time. So that's what I'm a little worried about. I mean, with my legs being bad, with my CIDP, I fall all the time. I fall in the house. I fall in the yard. I fall out. Most of the time when I fall, it's either soft, I can grab furniture. I can hit a rug. I can hit the ground, which is soft, like dirt and grass. Yeah. And there's those times I fall on the driveway or on concrete, and it's not good.
Yeah.
But it's so far, I guess I got good bones. I've never broken anything. But I worry about me just falling down. Does it tell you it's about to call somebody so you can stop it?
I honestly don't know.
I don't either. Because I don't want it calling 911 when I'm getting up and just dusting myself off, feel like a fool because I fell down,
Worst case scenario, they just show up. So, but then
Yeah, I don't want them just showing up. I feel like I'm wasting. I did one time. I fell in my this stuff with my I don't know if you know what CIDP is. It's a autoimmune disorder that attacks the myelin sheath of your nerves in your legs. It's called chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. And so my legs come and go with severe weakness, and then they just sometimes don't work. I'm getting infusions now, and I'm pretty good. But for a while, till they figured out what was going on, I went for a time in a wheelchair for a year. I was in a power chair or wheelchair, and they couldn't figure out what was going on at first. So one day I got out of the car about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon at my house and fell right there in the driveway. Well, it was raining, and I couldn't get up. I tried a couple of times and couldn't. So I figured, Mary will be home within the next 20 minutes. I'll just wait. So I'm just sitting in the driveway enjoying the rain. It was summertime, so it wasn't cold. And I'm just sitting there in the rain, wait. And of course, I'd scrape my hand my arm when I went down, and you know how blood is when you mix it with water. It looks like you've bled out. You look like you've slaughtered a hog in your driveway, and it's not that big a deal. It just looks bad. So I'm sitting there, and I hear Mary coming up the driveway. Well, she pulled in on the other side of my car, and there was my car and my truck, and I was kind of between them. And so she couldn't see me. So she pulled in and parked, got out, and was kind of running in because it was raining. And as she went by me between the vehicles, I went, "Hey, Pumpkin." And she stopped and looked and went, "Oh, my God, oh, my God." So she came running over, and she helped me up. We got me up and got in, saw all the blood and stuff. Anyway, so she made the mistake of telling our friend, one of my friends was the fire chief of Alabaster. We lived in Alabaster then. And she told him what had happened. The next night, I'm sitting she'd already gone to bed. It's like 9 o'clock, and she'd go to bed early some nights. And I'm just sitting at my desk working on the computer, getting ready for the show the next morning.
Yeah.
And I hear the doorbell, and nobody comes to my house anyway because I was in the woods up on a cul-de-sac. Very few people ever just came to the house, and I heard the doorbell. I went, it was pitch black, night. I go hobbling over to the door and open it, and there's the fire chief of Alabaster. And David came in, and he said, I said, what are you doing? He said, can I come in, talk to you? And I said, sure. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know she'd told him. He said, if I ever hear that you fell anywhere in Alabaster and you couldn't get up and you didn't call my paramedics for us to come get you up, I'm going to come whoop your ass. I mean, he said, that's what we're there for. He said, you call us, don't sit out in the, I said, Mary told you. He said, yeah, she told me. I said, But anyway, so he was really nice. So for anybody, this thing having an alert is kind of a nice feeling.
Yeah.
At my age with my problems. I think it's really nice that.
Is this the newest one? Do you know?
Yes, brand new.
So it should
Latest
do like the EKG. It can tell you if you're having you can't use it accurately,
Right, but it'll tell you if you've got AFib and that kind of stuff.
If you need to go to the ER.
Really?
I have to figure out how to do it. I don't remember. Mine doesn't do it, but my brother's does.
Yeah, this thing, they say now that this one supposedly there is a way it can even tell you your blood sugar. And I'm diabetic, and I always prick my finger and use a meter. They said that there may be a way you can do your blood sugar on this thing. I don't know.
Maybe you go with your temperature?
I don't know. I'm sure it could tell you.
Because if your sugar drops, don't you get clammy? Sometimes?
Yeah, but I don't know that it actually affects. Does it affect your?
I don't know. I have to look that
when
up.
my sugar drops, I feel like I'm so clammy and cold. I feel like I'm cold.
But you're probably not cold.
The way I eat and drink, my sugar rarely is low.
Your peeps.
Yeah, my peeps keep it up there. But I have given myself too much insulin before.
Yeah.
And driven it way too low. It went down to 30-something one time.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, 48.
You had to eat lots of peeps.
I did have to get up, honestly, I think I went in and I don't think I had orange juice. What did I get? I had to get up in the middle. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I knew something was wrong. And what I'd done is I'd given myself too much insulin that evening right after I ate. And, it takes an hour before it really gets in your system good. So I gave myself my insulin, went to bed. I woke up, sweat pouring off of me. I knew what had happened. And I couldn't hardly, I got up and I was swimmy and everything. So I went to the kitchen and I forgot what I may have opened a pack of, we have sugar in little packets because we don't try to use any sugar. But if we have guests over, you need sugar for something, instead of having a thing of sugar, I keep them in the little packets.
Yeah.
They last longer. And I think I may have opened a sugar packet and killed it, but I wouldn't it. And then I sat down and I felt better in 15 minutes.
That's
but,
good.
Oh my God. If people who are not diabetic, if you've ever had to do, and then I've got a niece that's type 1 diabetic. She's been dealing with this since she was a little girl. And she's almost died about 3 times, especially when she was in college and nobody was there to help supervise her, and she was drinking and playing and not thinking about it before they put her on a pump. And she would screw up, and would take too much and whatever, not eat. And she's had to go to the hospital in a coma twice, one of those diabetic comas. They pulled her back out, but oh my God, and now she's in her 60s. That's how long it's.
So do you give yourself insulin, or do you have to draw it up?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I've done, they used to give me the vials of insulin. There's 2 types. I've got the slow release and then the Humalog, the instant. So they've given me in the past, I've gone through little vials. You have to put a syringe in and pull up the right amount and shoot yourself. And then they gave me the pins. And those are wonderful. You just dial in your dosage with the pin.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
And stick it in and just hit the button. Phenomenal. So much easier.
The only reason I bring that up is because those syringes, for say you need 0.1 insulin, Well,
you see that big one,
no.
and that one is not 0.1.
That's-
It's 1 unit.
Yeah. It's confusing.
You got to be very careful.
Yeah.
And then see, for instance, I've got a pin now I've got both. I've got the little vials of the Humalog, and I've got a pin now with the Humalog. And I'd realized how much I was giving myself at one point because, I'd pop that thing in there and pull off about 3 units and give myself the 3 units. And then I started noticing that the pin is in much smaller increments. And when I dial in the 2.2, it wasn't nearly what I was giving myself, and it works fine. I mean, it's great. So I was overdosing for a long time. Because remember, I also am blind just about. I mean, my vision's
Well, those are tiny syringes.
They are.
So.
And they don't hurt.
No.
My wife can't watch me do any of that stuff. And I said, you don't even feel it. I said, these little needles are so thin. And she said, she's needle phobic. And then they put her on, it wasn't Ozempic, but they put her on something because she was diabetic for a while. And they put her on, wasn't Trulicity, wasn't Ozempic. It was one, no. Anyway, they put her on one of those GLP-1s, isn't that what's called? And she had to give herself shots, She made me do the first couple, and then I said, I ain't doing this. You're giving yourself a shot. So she lost like 35 pounds, and her diabetes went away. But she had to give herself shots. That was funny. That tickled me. I've got done it for years. So much syringes don't bother me and needles don't. And it's just part of your routine. For her, it was a momentous part of her day to have to give her that little herself that little shot. She had to work herself up into it. It was like getting ready for a marathon. Dun, 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 dun. I can't do it. Oh. Just do it. Just like Nike. Just do it. Speaking of marathon, we're going to take a quick break. It's 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. Huge news in the world of marathon over the weekend. Historic moment. Really historic. We'll talk about it coming up in just a few minutes right here on Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem. Stay with us.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton. where quality meets convenience.
Good Monday morning. It's 8:06, 6 after 8 o'clock. I'm in the 60-degree range. I need to look and
They
see
didn't
what.
give us a goodie while we were on break.
Yeah, he sure did. The
It's a
Piper
Target.
Peach Target, which I think that's brilliant. The bullseye, of course, is Piper Peach Radio's logo, and it says "Always on Target with Piper Peach," and it's an actual nice
Shooting target.
target. Yeah, for
I
practice.
guess anything really. Shooting bow and arrow.
I wouldn't be bow and arrow for me. Bow and arrow for
Darts?
me's got to be this big because I'm
we can
terrible
just put
with
it
it.
right here and play dart.
Yeah,
while
that's
he's
true.
not
You could-
here.
That would be a pretty good. Well, it's not a regulation dart board, but it's great for shoot pistol or rifle shooting or BB guns.
You know where I would shoot it?
Where?
Right in the middle.
I can't.
I got good aim.
Do you? Are you good at shooting?
Yes.
I used to be when I was actually used to compete in pistol shooting contests. I love shooting pistols. Rifles are okay. I wasn't that great with rifles because I just don't have good trigger control for some reason with a rifle. But with a pistol, I was pretty good. But I'm right eye dominant.
Yeah.
My right eye went blind. I can't see anything out of my right eye.
So
So now I can't.
Yeah,
the
that would be-
It's horrible.
yeah.
I can't cross over. So now I've got a buddy of mine that says he can teach me instinctive shooting. You know, where you like the cowboys did.
Oh, so
You
it's like,
just shoot. You just can hit things without
I feel
aiming.
like that would be hard.
I think it would too. But he claims it's not. You just got to practice it and get the feel of it. He said there's some tricks to it, and so I'm gonna take. Matter of fact, he used to be the police chief for years of Thorsby.
What's his name?
Carter, last name is Carter,
Oh.
and he and I have the same birthday.
I was just asking because I actually met the Thorsby's police chief last night.
Yeah, the new now one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he said his name Ron, I believe.
Really?
And he said it stood for retired old dude. That's what he said.
Retired.
He was
old
so
dude.
nice.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, anyway, it's pretty neat. So, I'd like to learn the instinctive shooting stuff. Oh, the point that we were going to make. Did you see where a Kenyan over the weekend they did they had a big marathon somewhere? I guess in Africa somewhere in Africa. I think South Africa or Kenya maybe. I don't know. But a Kenyan did something they didn't even think was humanly possible. He broke the 2-hour marathon. He ran an entire marathon in 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds. That's amazing. That beat the world record by over a minute. And when you're talking about that kind of distance and that speed, that's a huge. I mean, now when they talk about people beating the record by a tenth of them, 3 seconds, 1 second.
Yeah. That's crazy.
A minute.
It would take
Unbelievable.
me 3 days.
I can't, it's amazing. And it makes you wonder. And also, I think a woman, they had an all-woman, they just ran women in a marathon. It was an all-female marathon. And I think another Kenyan, this woman, broke the world record for women. And it was like just 2 hours, 5 minutes or something. It was just over 2 hours. So it was still incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I want to look more into why these Kenyans, especially, seem so adept at winning these long distance races. I mean, they're amazing, and the winners in so many marathons are Kenyans. Is it? I don't know if it's culturally they're brought up running from the time they're born, and maybe running in high altitudes and long distances, or up and down steep hills. I don't know what gives them the constitution to be such good long distance runners, but obviously their heart, their lung capacity, their heart, their muscles, they're a different breed altogether from even other, apparently Africans, because Kenyans alone seem to make up so many of the world record in long distance runners. It's amazing.
That's crazy. There was also a marathon in Clanton this past weekend.
Was there? They ran a
It's for
full
the
marathon?
Butterfly Bridge.
What's the Butterfly Bridge?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think it's like a child
Advocacy?
yes, center. I
Huh.
believe so.
Butterfly Bridge.
Taylor actually ran in it.
She ran in it?
Yeah,
Good for her. Did she make the whole thing?
I think so.
Man, that's right. That alone. I mean, I had a friend that ran a half marathon back in like February in Florida, where it was relatively flat the whole course, half a marathon, and they thought they were going to die before they got it. And they run all the time. I mean, they don't run long distances, but they run a few miles every couple
I think
of
it
times
was a
week.
5K, I believe.
Okay, so it wasn't a full marathon.
No.
Oh, okay.
How
Yeah.
long is a marathon?
26 and a half miles,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
gosh.
You know where the marathon came from was from one of the Roman or Greek wars in the Greek, and they I think they won a big battle in somewhere in Greece, and the one of the runners had to run from the battlefield 26 and a half miles back to Athens to tell the Caesar or whatever the leader was whether or not they won or lost, and he came back and yelled Nike, which, you know, the shoe's named after that word, which means victory.
I didn't know that.
And so that's where, and then he dropped dead. He ran so hard to get back and tell them the news. They say that he came into town, into Athens, went to the leader and screamed Nike, Nike, and dropped dead from exhaustion or whatever. And then so I think it was from Marathon was the name of where the battle was, to Athens. So the 26 and a half mile became known as a marathon. And so there you go. They run 26 and a half. Oh, and see, a half marathon's what, 13.2 miles or whatever?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
Mm-mm.
Even in the days when I could run pretty good, because I can't run at all now with my legs, but when I could run, I never did even attempt. I think I did a 5K a few times, 5 kilometers. But man, the thought of running for 26 and a half miles, 13 miles, just no way. I walked about a quarter of a marathon one time. We did a charity walk, and it was when I was in Selma, Alabama, working at the radio station down there. And they had a charity walk, and you had to walk, I think it was 6 miles or something like that, which is like a fourth of them. And I like to die. I mean, that
That'd be
first
me.
couple of miles, piece of cake. Second couple of miles, it was okay. Last mile was hideously.
Terrible.
Oh, my tongue was out. My legs were aching. I was in relatively good shape then.
How was the next day?
Not good. Not good. I had lots of Bengay ointment and aspirin and everything else to try to get me. I was really sore the next day.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wearing good shoes. Of course, back then, you just had dress shoes and sneakers, dress shoes and basketball shoes. And the one I had were not really great for walking. I think I may have been wearing like regular casual dress shoes. I don't know. But oh my God, my feet were killing me and my legs were sore.
I can imagine.
It was something else, but I made it. I drove a marathon one time, but it wore me out. Drove 26 and a half miles. I think I drove a marathon this morning coming here. And I did it in under 2 hours.
Woohoo!
Very good. We're glad you're with us. We got lots going on. Again, we want to remind you we could have some severe weather coming in tonight and tomorrow. So be weather aware because some of them could be severe. Nothing like 15 years ago. And again, today is the 15th anniversary today of the day that 26 tornadoes ravaged the state of Alabama, some really big ones, really bad ones. There were 250 casualties, 250 deaths, even more casualties because a lot of people were hurt. A lot of people's lives were changed forever on this day 15 years ago. And again, hard to believe all the damage, 250 lives lost, many more injured. Just an amazing. they called it once in a millennium thing. I don't think we've ever figured you could have an outbreak of 26 tornadoes just in the state of Alabama that day. Just amazing.
That's so many. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that one, well, there were several big ones, but that huge one that came through Tuscaloosa just flattened parts of Tuscaloosa, just destroyed it. 15th Street and McFarland Boulevard in that area just looked like a bomb, a nuclear bomb had gone off. Then it came all the way up, never hardly lifted up, stayed on the ground, and came into West Birmingham and did amazing damage. And you could see, I remember sitting in my living room. I'd gotten home from work. It was late afternoon, mid-afternoon, and I was sitting watching TV, watching Channel 6, and they had it on camera, this huge black tornado just grinding its way from Tuscaloosa into downtown Birmingham. And it was just, it didn't seem real. You know, you're just looking at it going, God, that doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
Because it was so delineated. It was so, you could see it. And it was so big and wide. It was like a mile wide at the base, which is a huge tornado. So, and it was like an F4 or 5, wasn't it? Or it was a big one. Lots of damage. So I'll never forget that. That's one of those things you don't think you'll ever really see. And it was just amazing. Thank God I was living in Alabaster at the time, when south of town was spared the worst of it. Most of that tornado went through North Birmingham and downtown, parts of downtown and North Birmingham, and then went out toward East Lake, the airport and all that. So just amazing damage. So that was 15 years ago today. It's hard to believe.
Let's see, how old were you 15 years ago?
15 years ago, let's see, I would have been 60, 55, 59. This was, remember, I'm 73.
Yeah.
So it's whatever 15 is from 73.
My brain's still not awake yet.
Yeah.
So
I can't hardly.
So over the weekend, Talladega happened.
That's right. This was race weekend.
Have you ever been?
Many times. I used to go back in the 70s, right when it was a new track. I got to go with a friend of mine that I worked for. He's a friend of mine, but he was also my employer when I worked for his store. But anyway, he'd take me out there a few times, and it was really exciting because he liked going into the infield, and that's back when the infield was like the Wild Wild West.
Oh, yeah,
A lot
it
of
still
people,
is.
no clothes, and
Yeah.
it was wonderful. Anyway, so then when I got out of college, I would go to Talladega because I was doing helicopter track reporting. I could ride the helicopter, Channel 6 or 13's helicopter, into there and stay in the infield with the helicopter. And I got to drive around the track just 20 feet off the track one year, drying the track when we had rain.
Like this.
They asked us if the helicopters if our helicopter would be willing to dry the track, and we said sure. So I just rode along. I could look straight out the side of the window at people that were even higher than me because we were right over the track.
That's scary.
It was neat. And then what was nice was, you know how traffic is at Talladega. At the time, I lived over near the Eastwood Mall in Birmingham. And I lived literally 100 yards from a little elementary school. And it had a big playground. So on that Saturday and Sunday morning, they would call me and say, we're about to land. And I just get in the car and drive to this little elementary school 2 blocks away. Helicopter would come in and land. I'd go get in it. We'd take off. We were at the Talladega Raceway in 11 minutes, you know, because it was so fast.
That would be nice.
And then we'd circle a little bit and take pictures of them. Then we'd land in the infield, get out and go look around, do whatever we want to do, watch the race, then get back in it. And I'd be back home in 11 minutes, where all those people were just sitting on the interstate for hours. And then after that, I was real good friends with a guy named Eli Gold. And Eli Gold, of course, worked for MRN Racing. And so I would go with Eli, and he'd work the race. And sometimes he was up in the press box, but a lot of times he was in the second turn in the second turn at Talladega, there was originally that pole with a uniball in it. And then when they switched to Winston Cup, it was a big cigarette box. It looked like a Winston cigarette box.
Yeah.
And that was where the number 2 announcer sat. And you had to climb up a ladder into this box up there. And I'd sit up there with Eli during the race. And that's back when Elliott was really powerful, just winning all the races. Then they did the restrictor plate stuff. Then I got to be good friends. I knew Davey Allison's dad, Bobby, and I knew Clifford, and I got to be good friends with Davey Allison. So I got passes and pit passes to go out there because I would give Davey and his wife tickets and backstage passes to country concerts they liked, and he'd give me passes and stuff for the race. And so I was going out there until Davey was killed. And a trivia thing is, I was supposed to have been in the helicopter with Davey Allison and Red Farmer the day he crashed. He had asked me the week before, did I want to go out to the track, because he knew I'd been in helicopters for years and flying. And he said he had just transitioned from the little helicopter he learned to fly in. He was going to take his dad's, Bobby's, big jet helicopter, the Hughes 500, out there. And he said, did I want to ride with him and Red? I said, yeah. But then I had a remote. They booked me for a remote that day somewhere, and I had to call him on Monday and say, they went out on like a Wednesday or Thursday or something. So I said, I can't go. And it's a good thing because I'd have been unharmed, I'm sure, because if you know anything about these helicopters, that Hughes 300 was built by the military originally. It was built for the military to really be survivable in a crash. It looks like an egg with a broomstick out its butt. It's just a big round egg so that if you ever crash it, it's real strong.
Yeah.
The only reason Davey Allison was killed was because he wasn't either wearing a helmet or shoulder harnesses. And what happened was when the helicopter went over on the side, his head the inertia put his head out the door, and it flexed open, and when the helicopter hit, it really crushed his head.
Yeah.
And that's if he'd had shoulder harnesses or helmet, he wouldn't have been hurt. And I'd have been in the back seat. You know, Red wasn't hurt too bad, except he got thrown over on the left, and his left leg and thigh hit the center console, and that's what hurt him. Guy in the back seat would have been like in a padded room. You wouldn't have been padded. I might have gotten your bell rung a little bit. But that's about it. So
well, I'm glad
that was
you
something
were not
else.
in there.
No, I'm glad too. I wouldn't want to be part of that or see that.
Yeah,
And then that was kind of the end of my racing. I just lost a lot of interest in racing. It was sad with Davey and Eli Moot changed some things, and I just didn't. I've never been back out there. Well, I did go back out there sometimes for the radio station, and one time when I was at ZZK, WZZK 104.7, they told me to take the van to the racetrack and give out T-shirts, and they gave me a couple of boxes of T-shirts, so I had lots of T-shirts to give away. And I went out into the infield before the race started. You know, you can go under the tunnel and go out there for a while, and then you got to get back out before the race starts. So I went out early, and all the drunks were out there. They'd been drinking all night. This was on Sunday morning. And I'd stop, and when I started throwing T-shirts out, we'd get a crowd, and then it'd get kind of scary because all the drunks and all the wild people were, screaming for shirts. I'd get back in. I had a little feller with me that was our intern, young guy, and he was all nervous about it. So anyway, we'd drive a little more around the infield, get out, throw some shirts until it got to be a riot, and we'd drive around. So we did that, and I was having to get out of the tunnel before the race started. And we got near the end, and we had to stop before we could, because we were waiting to go through the tunnel. Well, we were out of shirts, completely out of shirts. And a crowd came around wanting shirts because they'd seen us giving them away. And I rolled the window down saying, we don't have any shirts. They started rocking the van a little bit, screaming shirts, T-shirts, and they turned us over on our side.
Oh my gosh.
And they turned us over. The driver's side was down like this, and the poor little feller that was with me was on top of me screaming, "They're gonna kill us! They're gonna kill us!" I said, "No, we're all right." And everybody's just laughing and drink. I guess they were drunk. State troopers came running over, and this will tell you how things were in the old days. The state troopers made the drunks set us back upright.
I would, yeah.
And I started it back, and it started fine. Everything looked okay. I think I lost a little oil out the breather, but anyway, we looked fine, and they chastised them. They didn't get them in each and told me to go on, and I got out of the tunnel fine. But I actually got rolled over on my side by drunks at Talladega that year. But it was neat. I've been probably total time. And then when I was at the Bull, we would go and set up where the people bring those really expensive, fancy, hideously big and expensive RVs.
Yeah.
The real rich guys.
Yeah.
That had that special place up in turn three. And, oh, man, there were these two Cajun brothers that would come from Louisiana that were massive fans. And they had a trucking company near New Orleans, and they were wealthy. Money out the bazoo. So they'd show up with their big motorhome on Friday or Thursday. And they, those motorhomes have those. It was really a bus, a tour bus.
Yeah.
Fancy. But you know how they can pull those big trays out that would hold luggage and stuff? They pulled it out, and it was nothing but crawfish. Sacks on ice of live crawfish. Tons of them. And they would put out these barrels and stuff and start boiling crawfish. And if you were friends with them or they invited you, you could just eat crawfish. And these guys were huge. There was a big brother and a little brother. Big brother was 300 plus, and little brother was 290 plus, and they were just fun. And oh man, and you live like kings. And their wives, who were equally pretty big ladies that could cook like crazy, were in there making bread pudding and stuff. I loved it when they showed up. And we had a rule at the Bull then, because I would go out there with my boss and his boss, the big guy, and a couple other big wigs from iHeart. We'd all be out there that night. Well, I had to drive home and come back every day, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I didn't partake in too much of the partying. But those guys were staying out there in a camper.
That's what we did.
Oh, well, they partook. And they got really drunk, some of them. And these are my bosses and their bosses. And we had a rule, what goes on in Talladega stays in Talladega.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, maybe that's why nobody fired me for 20 years from my art, because I had too much on my bosses, because they got drunk. I mean, they had a blast. So I've enjoyed a 50-year, 40-year legacy at
It's
Talladega.
so fun, even if you're sober, because you can just watch everybody. And
You people watch?
Yes.
And, it used to be, I just like seeing all the girls show them the signs of show us your, whatever, tatas.
Accessories.
Yes, accessories. Show us the girls. And, I was in my teens and 20s and 30s, and that was extremely important to me. I've never not liked it, but that was very powerful. So we're going to take a break. Speaking of powerful, we're glad you're with us. It is 8:30 exactly, and it's about 60. Let me check the temperature real quick, because I hadn't looked at it in a while. It ought to be pretty good. 70. I knew it was getting warmer and warmer. It's already 70 degrees, going up to a high today of about 85. We'll be back. Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Stay with us.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery, with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota BX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $1,500. Now through February 28th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Get by Clanton Tractor today or visit ClantonTractor.com.
Need care fast? Come see us at Chilton Urgent Care, 1210 7th Street South in Clanton. We offer efficient care with minimal wait times and a wide array of services, including on-site x-rays, wound care, and quick assistance with urgent needs. Medicare and most private insurance and private pay welcome. No appointment needed. Walk in Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 8 to 4. Call 205-280-0620. Chilton Urgent Care. Quality care when you need it.
Good morning to you. It's 8:33, 27 minutes now before 9 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. It's going to be a nice day today, but enjoy it. It's going to be hot, but we got a chance of some pretty severe thunder showers developing, they say, late tonight or through tomorrow. So be weather aware because, again, this reminder, this is the 15th year anniversary of that terrible day back in 2011 when we had the tornadoes ravaged the state of Alabama. 67 tornadoes, I think it was, 250 people killed, many more affected, hurt, property lost. It's terrible. So be ready. That's the only thing I love. I've lived my whole life in Alabama, just about here, and I love it here, but I don't like tornadoes.
Me either.
That's I've been around them. I've had them. I've been in them. I used to have to cover them for the radio stations and go into devastated areas like hours after they were hit. Don't like tornadoes at all. I find no useful purpose in them. They're the worst thing for me because, a hurricane, is coming and you can get out of its way. You may lose stuff, but at least you can get out of the way.
Yeah.
But, oh, my God, when it comes to a tornado, they just come out of the air, they drop down, and they can do such damage, much more damage to the one little place where it hits compared to, if you have an F4, F5 tornado, an F5 is almost unsurvivable unless you are in a tornado shelter underground because it's going to destroy everything it touches, brick homes, structures, everything.
Yeah.
So they're scary.
I hate them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to even.
No. And, I have noticed the nice thing is that they've come a long way in the last, used to be, people, you could always, especially out in the country homes had their storm shelters, and you could, in Alabama, a lot of them was where they had the hillside, they would dig into the hill, and you could always see that brick opening and a door going into the dirt, into the hill. And so many houses in Alabama had those. Not many had the ones that you just go down in the ground. Then in the 60s, in late 60s, early 70s, when we were going through the Cold War with Russia, and everybody thought we're going to have a nuclear holocaust, people did start putting the underground storm. They weren't storm shelters; they were radiation, shelters. They were things underground with pipes coming up so you could breathe and all that stuff, air and a door. And so if you had to go underground for a month or so, you could survive, supposedly, that. I don't know if that is realistic, but at least you started seeing a lot of storm shelters because they made great storm shelters.
Yeah.
And you could see those because you could always tell usually it was a little cement slab and a white pipe that came up and turned over, and some other stuff. That helped a lot. And then they started, when people started seeing how many people were getting killed especially in trailer parks, mobile homes, they started building community storm shelters because a lot of people would go to a church.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, like in Brent and Centerville, when that big tornado hit in 1973 and went through Centerville and Brent, the one fatality was this older guy that took refuge in the church, and the church collapsed, and he got killed with a falling brick or whatever. But I remember going through that town the next morning after the tornado, and the entire steeple of the church was laying right in the middle of the road. But so then they start building storm shelters. Yeah. Especially in communities that had a lot of mobile homes. That's smart because they're doing that. I notice they just dedicated a new storm shelter somewhere up in Birmingham that would hold like 30 people. Mm-hmm. And it was right there next to a mobile home park. So, and some apartments are doing that now. It's become kind of a positive thing. If you live in condos, apartments, or mobile home areas, they can build a storm shelter for the community, tornado shelter, and it enhances it, and people are willing to spend a little more to live that close to an actual. I would too. We had a place in my house that we just left after 30 years, the house we just sold. And it was nice because it was on the top of a hill, and I didn't think that was good for a tornado, but part of the house was really underground. The way the ground was, one side of the basement was totally underground. Yeah. And so that was our storm shelter. Mary and I put a sofa down there, and back then we had a little black and white TV so we could still watch coverage while we had power or whatever. And we would sit there like feeling like idiots, sitting in this sofa, sometimes in our pajamas or whatever, with bicycle helmets on. Just sitting there like we look like fools, holding our cats and dogs. Yeah. And they safe, though. Yeah, they didn't like it at all. Yeah. They like being on the sofa but then they get antsy. Yeah. And they can tell when something's going on out there. But that was good. Now, the house I got now, I think I've got a really good, it's an old house that was built in 1935, and it had an old coal-fired furnace. Mm-hmm. So where the coal used to be stored in the basement is way underground. So I think we'd be fine. And that house is built like a fortress, built in 35. So I think we're going to turn, but my problem is Mary she thinks it's creepy down there. It's an old basement from the 30s, and it was the coal bin and stuff. Now we've cleaned it up a little and all, but it's still kind of a gravel floor instead of paved. Yeah. I don't know. And it looks like a creepy old basement, and you look up and there's crawl spaces and so she won't go down there. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go down there when there's a bad weather, and she's going to stay at the top of the stairs and and only run down if she hears timbers breaking and glass breaking. She says that basement's way too creepy.
Is there windows down there?
There are like two. There are those two little ones that are up high because they're on the ground. Yeah. So we're in good shape because we don't have hardly any glass to break. That's good. And those windows are on the wall, but there's an outside stairwell that goes down. Mm-hmm. So actually, even though you can see light through them, they're behind a brick wall too. So we're in pretty good shape, I think. I guess but I got to put something down there we have nothing in there to sit on. I mean, it's just, you'd be just standing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Nah, I need something comfy to wait my final moments out.
Hopefully it's not your final moments. We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. But it's interesting because, I think a lot of people have, especially 15 years ago, that was so devastating. It really brought to mind, I mean, who would have ever thought there would be that much coverage? I mean, 67 tornadoes in one day. And there's only 67 counties. That's averaging a bad tornado or a tornado in every county.
Yeah.
And it was more than that. Some places were just had tons of them. So, and some were little, but most of them, or even a little tornado, is damaging. So it's amazing. So be weather aware. I hope we won't have any tornadoes. We've been very lucky so far. We haven't had any particularly severe spring weather yet in all of Alabama. I think we've had a few tornadoes, little light ones touch down, one in North Alabama, one in South. But it's been relatively easy. But, they really ramp up in May and June and July when the summer's here and you can get those.
And I get no sleep.
Yeah, you don't.
Because it always happens in the middle of the night. I don't know why.
Well, that's the scary ones, too, because if it's in the middle of the night, you may be dead asleep and not know that there's one actually on the ground, like a warning, unless your weather radio wakes you up. My weather radio that I had for years crapped out on me. It's done.
I don't like those things.
I don't like them, but I keep one because I want the alarm to go off. The problem is I didn't know how to program mine correctly. So mine would go off if there was any kind of watch or warning anywhere in the state. So it never stopped.
Yeah.
And I need to program it so it's only in Shelby and Chilton County. I think if I had that, I'd be in good shape.
Well, my parents used to have one, and it would go off all the time. And this is when I was little, and I'd freak out because I was like, oh, my God, there's a tornado.
You thought you were going to die.
Yes.
And the tornado was up in Lawrence County or somewhere way off.
I can hear it in my head. Like, it's PTSD.
Well, I'm going to get another one, I think, but I'm going to program it so it won't frivolously wake me up for everything. And, I like the fact that these weather radios, some of them are battery operated.
Yeah.
Some of them have a little generator even. And I like the fact you can listen to it even if your power goes out, And so I'm going to get one, but.
Yeah, I think ours plugged up into the wall. Like, we had one that you spun, but we also had one that went in the wall. And it was that white one.
Really?
Nope, I hated it.
Well, I'm going to get one that you wind up, because they're also good if you have some of those that are weather radios, they're battery powered and you can generate power to keep the battery charged, but they also can charge your cell phone. So if you need to run if you happen to go down and your cell phone's almost dead when the storm is, you can then plug it in there and you can sit there and crank it up and keep the radio and your cell phone charged up.
Yeah, that'd be me for sure.
It is 8:45. It's 15 minutes before 9 o'clock. We're getting near the end of Morning Mayhem on this Monday. 71 degrees outside. Going to be a high today into the mid-80s, so it's going to be a nice hot day. We're glad you're with us. We got more to talk about. Please stay with us here. We got to say hi to somebody, too.
Miss Wanda.
Is it Miss Wanda?
She said happy birthday.
Hello, Miss Wanda. Thank you. Everybody's been so nice to me. Thank you, Wanda. Appreciate the birthday wish. Yeah, I wish my number wasn't getting so high, but I guess that's better than the alternative. Isn't that right? Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Miss Wanda, and thank you for watching and listening to us here on this Monday morning, Piper Peach Radio. We'll be back in just a few to finish up this morning show with you right here on Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem.
And keep your vehicle running smooth? Head to McSweeney Auto Group for their oil change special, just $29.95. Mark your calendar for March 11th, 12th, and 13th. And again, March 26th, 27th, and 28th. And that's not all. This special will continue the 2nd and 4th weeks of April and May, giving you 3 full months of savings. Here's how it works. Take a quick test drive and receive your oil change voucher. It's that simple. Offer valid Tuesday through Thursday only. Excludes high performance and diesel oil changes. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
Good morning to you. Monday here with Morning Mayhem and Piper Peach Radio. We're glad you're with us. It is 8:49, 11 minutes before 9 o'clock. Dollar Bill and Krissy here with you. Boy, over the weekend, the president got, well, a lot of people got shot at in a sense. But, boy, I'm telling you, the Secret Service did an amazing job. If you've seen that video, they've shown it a lot, where the guy comes running in and hits the first perimeter. You know, people say, how in the world did he get that close with a shotgun, pistol, and some knives? Well, you know what? He didn't have to go that far. He could be hidden. He stayed in that hotel, and this ballroom was part of the hotel. So he only had maybe 20 feet to run from hiding to get into that outer perimeter. So, you know, he could have gone down a stairwell or been in hiding that shotgun in the elevator. Once the door opened, he could take off.
You would think that they would do, like, everyone staying in the hotel, they would do, like, a background check or something on.
Well, I mean, you know, people staying in the hotel or tourists and everything else, too. It's not just, it wasn't just people for that. I agree that, the Secret Service does an amazing job anyway. Thank you, sir. Diet Coke, yes. And, but, they can only do so much.
Yeah.
And this is a free country, and they don't want to make everybody, strip search them and
so.
check all their baggage. make them feel like criminals if they're just staying there because they want to go see the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. They're in Washington for tourists. So. But they did a great job because what happened is what happened. This guy with a shotgun or pistol and some knives rushed the venue and never got past the outer perimeter. He went around, and if you've seen that video, he shoots that one Secret Service guy right in the chest with the shotgun and keeps running, and the guy falls down and jumps up, pulls his weapon, and fires. I mean, and they got him right away. He never really even breached the doors to the room. And, of course, the minute that happened, they took care of everybody inside. All the correspondents, all the guests were taken care of. They rushed everybody on the dais out of the room into the holding area. The president, the vice president, some of the cabinet members and their wives and stuff, they took care of them. Everything happened the way it was supposed to when it comes to security. Great job by the Secret Service, great job by the FBI, great job by the local police, the Metro Police. I mean, it looked like it'd been practiced. They did such a good job.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. And it's and here's the thing. You notice when I've watched the coverage of it all weekend. And there are some of the more liberal thinking people say that he should have never gotten where he got. And Trump even said it, and he was probably the main target, but he said there's always going to be nut jobs. There's always crazy people who do things that you can't explain or you can't tell ahead of time they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's always going to be. And so what you do is you've got to keep living because they said, maybe you shouldn't go back out and finish the dinner and stuff. He said, no, we're not going to let one nut job like this stop us from being Americans and living free and enjoying our lives and doing fun stuff. And I think I agree with him 100% on that. You can't let one crazy person change completely the way life is. And you think about it, look at the old days. There was a man that was able to walk in the theater at Ford Theater and shoot President Lincoln in the back of the head with a Derringer. That's how little Secret Service and all was back then. I mean, he was sitting with his wife and a couple other people in that presidential box. Nobody guarding him, really.
Yeah.
The guy looked through a peephole. He had drilled in the door, which nobody noticed that. And then he just went in and walked up right by and put the pistol to the back of Lincoln's head and pulled the trigger. And so you look at that, and then Garfield and some of the other assassinations where there was very little security. Then in the 50s and all, they started increasing security after several assassinations. And then you get to Kennedy. And that was a sniper, maybe the conspiracy of how many snipers. We've never really been given good answers on all that, with Lee Harvey Oswald killing him. And then Jack Ruby killing Lee Harvey Oswald the next day. I mean, it seems very conspiratorial, but they keep upping up the security. Reagan was shot in front of that very same venue that Saturday night happened. He had just spoken in that room and was going out to the limo when that crazy guy, Chapman, no, that was the guy that shot, I forgot the guy's name, shot President Reagan. Bullet went in under his armpit near his lung. They rushed him to the hospital, and he was fine. But that was at that venue. And, the President of the United States is supposed to be our president, not our emperor or our king. So he's still supposed to be a man of the people.
Yeah.
And just like the Pope, they shot the Pope one year, and so they were all saying the Pope should never go back. And the Popes all said, no, we're a priest of the people. And so they have the Pope Mobile, which is that fancy glass dome Pope Mobile that is bulletproof, but he still goes out among people. So,
like a fish.
Yeah, I think Trump was right. You can't stop living as Americans and let the terrorists win. Now, what scares me is, and they brought this up, in that one room was the president and his wife, vice president and his wife, several high-ranking cabinet members, high-ranking officials, all in there. If a bomb had gone off or something,
Yeah.
whoa, we would have lost a chunk of our government.
What would you do?
Well, they've got it all set up. You know, it goes, they've got the line of succession. So, I mean, they know who's going to be in charge no matter who's killed instantly. You know exactly who's going to go in next. I think it's the Secretary of State or something is next. And he wasn't in there. So, I mean, they've got it set out so that no matter what scenario happens, unless somehow the entire government is blown, you know, it's like nuked out or something. Supposedly we've got something to fix it. Somebody can get in there.
What would happen if that did happen?
I think it goes down to military guys, like the highest ranking Army guy or whatever. So it could even, you know, I guess you could even say at some point some captain or major or maybe general could be president in an emergency if they had to be, or an admiral or somebody. I don't know
you
how
never
that works.
think about.
I've forgotten. It's been so long since I took civics. I have no idea what the rank succession is for the presidency.
I did not pay attention in civics.
I
As you can tell.
I kind of did, but that was 60 years ago. So may have changed since then. Who knows? I think back then we had the chief and the assistant chief and the Indian and whatever. But anyway, it was an amazing weekend. But again, I really was impressed that you know how odd Trump can be about blaming or giving credit to something. He did a great job of giving credit to the Secret Service, to the FBI, to all the people involved in his security, and I thought that was pretty neat. And he went right back. I give him this. The guy wasn't fearful. He went right out and did the dinner after everything. I kind of calmed down. It was a little later. The dinner went on. And
I mean, yeah, if you, like you said, you don't need to live around the crazy people, you know.
yeah, you can't.
You
there's
would
some
never
things you
do
can't,
anything.
Yeah, you can't do anything if you're worried about a lone wolf or a crazy person.
We wouldn't
because-
even be able to come to work because Baden's crazy.
Good point. I hadn't thought of that. Well, he's not really crazy. He would just bundle us into where we would all ride in one vehicle.
Yeah.
You know,
like a
to save
school bus.
gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd bundle us. Yeah, you have, but he's put everybody in the van before just to save. Everybody could go in one vehicle. I love the van. Have we come up with another name for it yet? He doesn't like the name that Jason gave it. Yeah, he calls it Big Juicy,
I like
like
it.
a big juicy peach.
Yeah.
But Baden doesn't like it.
I like it. We'll have to come up with one.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
we'll
I'll
think
think
it. We
about
need
it.
to. Maybe we could do a contest and get people to send in ideas.
The best one gets
I don't
a
know what
t-shirt.
kind of prize we'll give them. We'll come up with something. But if you think of
Oh,
something,
you
we
get
could.
a free.
There you go, free
Target.
Target. Well, we'll come up with something. Yeah, we'll give you. Do you have any stickers yet? We'll print some Big Juicy stickers, and you can give us a new name because he doesn't like Big Juicy. And I think a lot of people like Big Juicy because
Yeah.
it's just so weird and
It's
so funny. Yeah, it is kind of funny. But anyway, if you've got an idea of what we can call the Piper Peach Radio van, did the lights just go out? Yeah. Wow. Baden, you can't bundle the power bill with the water and the gas. But yeah, so if you know of a great an idea for a neat name or a funny name or a meaningful name for our Piper Peach Radio van,
Yes.
let us know. We'd love to.
Please.
We may, if we use it, we'll give you a prize.
Yeah.
So tell us what it is and give us your name and how we can get back with you. You can text us or email us or whatever it takes.
Cannot use ChatGPT. It's forbidden.
I don't know. If it gives us a good name, I'd use it. I love ChatGPT. I use it all the time. I use it to find out if I should buy a product, if I can't remember something, a historical event. I've even used it to help me write vows for weddings and stuff when I officiate a wedding.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your own wedding.
No.
Well, I guess never mind. I'm not gonna say
I'm an
that.
officiant, so if I'm gonna do a wedding,
I was gonna say ChatGPT wasn't around when you got
no,
married.
it wasn't. Well, ChatGPT wasn't really around 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's- and the change of this AI stuff is
crazy.
frighteningly fast. I mean, you went from barely having AI, then the ChatGPT. Now there's Grok and all these alternatives that are just astounding. So we'll see. I don't know if AI is going to be a miracle or it's going to kill us. It's got the
die
potential to
anyway.
do both. Yeah, but I don't want some future robot coming to my house and popping me. Yeah, or worse yet, pointing at me and laughing. That's really insulting. It is 9:01. We're out of time on this Monday morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
Anything you want from us, you just let us know, as well as giving us a name for our van if you don't like Big Juicy. And if there's anything you think we need to do for the community or something you think of that we could do to help this better life in this community, let us know. We'll do our best to try to fulfill those needs. And we're just glad